To understand the second option, we will need to digress for a moment to an incident that is recorded in Sefer Ezra, and to acquaint ourselves with one of the major challenges that faced Ezra upon his return to Yerushalayim from Bavel. It appears that, in stark contrast to the community that remained behind in Judea following the Churban, the Jewish community that was exiled to Bavel began to flourish. There was a strong commitment amongst the people to Judaic life, and it was during the 70-year period that they were in Bavel that we have the events recorded in the Megillat Esther. So secure was the community that when an offer was made to return to Judea, very few of them took up the offer. During this period, those who had remained behind in Judea had embarked upon a process of cultural annihilation. Intermarriage with non-Jews was widespread and accepted by all. And this was the major challenge facing Ezra upon his return from Bavel. He writes of his personal experiences regarding this matter, Ki nas'u mibnotehem lahem v'livnehem. They, referring to the majority of the people, have in the most part married out. In fact, this was not just the first generation assimilation, but the second generation. Intermarriage was no longer a taboo. Furthermore, the acceptance of intermarriage was not just confined to the people at large, for whom one could argue it was a matter of ignorance, but to the leadership in Judea at the time. V'yad hasarim v'hasaganim hayta b'mal hazeh rishona. They led the way into an acceptance of intermarriage, to which the people merely followed their example. In the second option presented by Rashi, to explain the inclusion of the Ani Hashem Elokeichem, he quotes a position presented by Rabbi Hanasi Rebbe that the statement Ani Hashem Elokeichem is directed at events that were to take place in the days of Ezra HaSofer. Rabbi Omer, Galui v'yadua lefanav, it was known and revealed to God, Shesofan linatek ba'arayot, that a time will come that the future Bnei Yisrael is going to be drawn into a violation of the Arayot laws, Bimei Ezra, in the days of Ezra HaSofer. Lefichach ba aleihem, therefore God confronts the Bnei Yisrael, bigzeira, with a decree that begins with the words, Ani Hashem Elokeichem. And with these words, God informs the nation that Du'u mi gozer aleichem. Be aware of who it is that decrees these laws upon you. Ani Hashem Elokeichem. I am a judge who exacts punishment, will hold you accountable for violation of these laws. V'ne'eman l'shalem sachar. By the same token, I am also one who is faithful to repay reward for the observance of my commandments. Both options are drawn from the Torat Kohanim. With respect to the names of God, the two used most frequently are Hadoshem and Elokim. The difference between them is that Hadoshem is generally a God of mercy, and Elokim is a God of judgment. By inserting both names of God into the single phrase, God is basically informing the nation that they are to be held accountable for the non-compliance to the mitzvot, and at the same time they can be assured of a reward for compliance. In summing up, the surface reading of Rashi is that he is responding to the inclusion of a statement to the effect of Ani Hashem Elokeichem in Vayikra Perek 18. Option 1 is that with this statement God is asking the Bnei Yisrael to accept upon themselves the fulfillment of God's mitzvot. Option 2 is that these words contain an implicit warning directed specifically at events that were to take place 965 years later regarding Ezra HaSofer's battle with the assimilationists of the day.